From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
American Door Company has been family-owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way up to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
All right, we're starting out with the weather headlines because really this is just kind of give you a rundown of what I expect here over the next 7 to 10 days, right? So bottom line is we just don't expect much change taking you through the rest of this week, this weekend, and next week, right? And really, highs are going to be struggling to reach 100 degrees. Now, I think on Monday we'll kind of see a little spike. Nothing major though, but probably about 100 degrees for the north end of the valley like Redding and Red Bluff, but probably not the case for Chico. But looking down the line here, I'm not seeing any big heat waves. And I'm also not seeing much in the way of thunderstorm activity in the mountains. Now we'll switch gears. We'll talk about the fire potential here for your Friday, and yellow indicating that low risk. Now what's interesting is the National Weather Service has issued a fire weather watch for eastern portions of Siskiyou County and Modoc County. But quite honestly, those are constantly changing. Especially when you're on the low end of that spectrum as far as when we kind of get within that criteria of issuing a watch or a warning. What can happen is maybe those winds may die down a little bit in the forecast, or the humidity levels may go up a little bit, and then they'll tend to expire or allow or cancel the red flag warning or the fire weather watch. So rather than kind of show you where that basically where the advisory is, or should I say the fire weather watch is, which is kind of in this general area right here, we take a look at the fire outlook here coming from the National Weather Service for today. And you can see where it has been the last few days actually. It's been within the very eastern portions of Modoc County and Lassen County as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the winds, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So the winds, quite honestly, they're not any stronger for today than they have been the last few days. Now, when I say that there's that fire weather watch, that's not until Saturday. So let's take a look at the winds on Saturday. Take you all the way through the afternoon. And they're going to be picking up, and they're going to be in the low to mid 20 mile an hour range. That's the gusts, but these aren't any stronger than what we've seen in the days past. So to say that the fire danger is a lot higher, quite honestly, that's not the case. The fire danger is high. We're in that time of the year where it's low humidity. We're seeing gusty winds at times. But these winds are certainly not any stronger than we've seen in days past. Now, the smoke forecast is looking like it's been on the hazy side as we go through the day today. But again, the haze kind of just comes and goes. And we're not really seeing any big plumes of smoke heading our way, giving us poor air quality and giving us that smell of smoke either. Now, there are going to be some of us that will smell smoke a little bit, kind of that faint smell of smoke, but nothing major. We go into your Friday through the afternoon. It should stay below 100 degrees today, about 97 degrees for Redding and Red Bluff, 94 degrees in Chico. And we take it off into the mountains where temperature should mainly be in the upper 80s. Again, no big changes from what we've seen here for the last few days. There's your 10-day trend. Now, I remember I was mentioning that spike on Monday, so we could get up to a little over 100 degrees for Redding, but I think Chico should still be below 100 degrees on Monday. But I mean, just look at this trend here. I mean, we're mainly in the mid to upper 90s all the way through the end of next week. You're looking at next Friday right there. And then that next weekend, yeah, maybe a slight increase in the temperatures, just up to about 101, 102. Now that heat, you can see it's still down to our south and east, and it's going to stay there through the weekend, and that's why our temperatures are staying below normal. Now, it's going to start to try to migrate in our direction, especially toward the end of next week and into that next weekend. You see how it kind of pushes off to our south, and I'm expecting it to continue to push to the south as this colder air kind of rides up closer to us, keeping our temperatures at bay again. So remember I was talking about no major heat waves? Well, that's the reason why. We just don't have that bubble of heat heading our way anytime soon, at least on top of us. Now, it's in our vicinity, and that's what keeps our temperatures up, but what's keeping our temperatures down is the colder air riding to our north, pushing that heat to the south a bit. Temperatures, mid to upper 90s for the valley, and mainly in the 80s for the higher elevations, although low 90s for places like Wairika and Susanville, for example. We take a look at that 7-day outlook, and you can see Mount Shasta, low 80s through the weekend. A slight increase, but basically upper 80s to low 90s here for Monday through Thursday of next week. And taking a look at Alturas, same story, upper 80s through the weekend, upper 80s, low 90s through most of next week. And for Susanville, mainly in the low 90s for the next 7 days. Here's your 7-day outlook for the valley. And yeah, I've got it up to about 100 degrees for Monday for Redding and Red Bluff. But Chico, I think you'll stay below 100 degrees next 7 days. In fact, look at that. By next Wednesday, Chico, you're down to 92, 94 for Red Bluff, and even not that bad for Redding with a high of about 96 degrees next Wednesday.